We've been doing this for 50 years now. Hard to believe. Hey there.
Hey, Mr. D.
Oh, how are you? I heard you had some good stories, huh?
I couldn't tell most of them.
I know.
Marlon.
I reminisce about where this company has come in 50 years. It literally started with one student that needed to get to the Walnut Street School in Lansing. A dad hired a neighbor to transport his son with polio. From there, before he knew it, Mr. Eric Christensen had a station wagon full of kids, all orthopedically challenged, going to Walnut Street School. Before he was done, he had 12 station wagons and 3 vans. That was the base that Lyle Stevens started with in 1969. Lyle would tell the story that in 1974, when special education became mandatory, when all of our nation said persons with disabilities are entitled to a free and appropriate education, he said, boy, what do I do now? I'm going to have to buy yellow buses, and we're going to have to really start developing a real bus system here for kids with disabilities. It grew a business that today we are looking at 45 offices across the state, 80,000 students transported.
Lyle, to me, is a grandfather figure. Lyle had a heart of gold, was extremely generous, and cared for people deeply.
I really looked at him as part of our family, being somebody that would set the stage for really the people helping people model that we work off of every day.
He was a stickler for safety. He was very conscious of how you treated the kids. He loved what we were doing, and so therefore we loved it also.
Lyle demanded people to do their job, expected us to make sure that our vehicles were what they were supposed to be, pre-tripped every day and do your route. We didn't just get in the vehicle and drive down the road.
You can just see for any of them, this is all the standardized wheelchair. We helped develop these tie-down systems here. One of the areas that was of dire concern for us in the late 80s was the fact of the condition of the wheelchairs that we were asked to transport. It was difficult even to tie them down. Lyle's vision was that we needed to do something. We had to get the federal government to change their attitudes. And I went to Washington and filed a civil rights suit against the U.S. Department of Transportation and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration for their failure to develop standards for the safe transportation of wheelchairs. But we got to the next rung below the United States Supreme Court. But we got a ruling in our favor, and to this day I always look around and I see a small little label on the wheelchairs that it's WC19. And WC19 came from Little Odine Transportation, Lansing, Michigan, that changed wheelchairs across the world. That effort really should be named after Lyle Stevens.
Lyle formed special transportation on the basis that he would transport students that otherwise could not get to school. He had a strong focus on making sure that drivers and attendants were well equipped to deal with any medical ailment, any behavioral concern, any safety concern that would happen on board a yellow school bus or station wagon at the time. And he really invested in them, and that really is the basis of who we are today.
One year I transported a girl who was very high functioning, but she was in a wheelchair. And I'll never forget, ever forget, that she told me, there's a pothole down the street, and if you hit that pothole just right, it could break my bone.
First child came out of Sparrow's neonatal unit with oxygen and a trach. We thought, oh my God, how are we ever going to handle this, So we put our heads together and went to Lansing Community College and developed that curriculum. Some of you were in that very first class and came to me and Lyle and said, my God, I wanted to be a bus driver. I wanted to be an attendant. You're trying to make me into a nurse, a doctor. What are you guys doing? I said, hang in there. And same ones you came back at the end and said, hey, when are we going to have another class?
We deal with passengers with an enormous number of medical abnormalities, different situations that you may have never seen in your entire life, that you might run into. Not that you're going to run into everyone, but that you could run into it. And if you do run into it, they want you to be prepared. And I think it shows their dedication to the company and their respect for their employees and their respect for their passengers.
We're proud that we wrap ourselves around our employees and really provide them the resources needed to make sure that they can take care of our students every day.
You've got supervision but it's not supervision that's always constantly looking over your shoulder. If you have a question, there's always somebody around to answer the question. If they don't know, they will find somebody to assist you.
When I think about Dean Transportation in the future, I go back to that vision that Eric Christensen had to transport one student with polio to the Walnut Street School in Lansing. You know, that vision and that core of who we are will continue well into the future.
Ultimately, every company in some sense is becoming a technology company. So that's why we're investing so heavily in research and development of new technologies, kind of the new age thinking of how things work.
As we view technology, as we view training, as we view our education system, we still fundamentally need to have care and concern for our kids, our employees, and our investment in training. And that's who Dean Transportation will continue to be for the next 50 years.
When difficult situations arise, treat everyone with honesty, respect, and everything works itself out.
It's a unique challenge that as we've been blessed to grow over the years, there's this responsibility that we all have to do our best each and every day to never forget that we all have our role and they're all equally important, and to appreciate each other and respect each other, and to make sure that we reflect that respect outward.
If you're truthful, honest with employees, customers, anybody you come in contact with, you can work through difficult situations that arise. And that's what this company is built on: trust, honesty, and integrity.
I've loved every minute of it and have great enthusiasm about the future of Dean Transportation. Having two sons to work along with me right now, as well as many very loyal, dedicated leaders in Dean, I only see good things for the future at Dean Transportation.
When I work with superintendents, one of the common things they talk about is how professional our team is, how encouraging and supportive they are of their students that they transport every day.
What you do day in and day out for our kids and for the district, it's a huge job that you carry, and you don't get the praise and the thanks enough that you deserve.
This is more than just a job to all of our team members, whether you're a driver or an aide. It's about the experience a student has on board the bus, and that's what sets us apart from other providers and makes us Dean Transportation.
The bottom line is that good people make this place work, and I'm proud to work alongside all of them.